A warm welcome to the presentation. A warm welcome to this presentation. We attempt to review Anand Rathi Wealth IPO. Anand Rathi is a leading non-banking wealth solution firm in the country, which is catering to HNI and the ultra HNI segment. The issue opens on 2nd December and closes on 6th December. It's entirely an offer for sale of 12 million equity shares. Face value is rupees 5, and the issue will be raising about 659 crores from the public. Bid lot is 27 shares, and the price at the upper end is rupees 550. 35% of the issue is reserved for retail. About 1.52 lakh applications are required from the retail for subscription. Anand Rathi is one of the leading non-banking wealth solution firms in the country and has been ranked among the top 3 non-banking mutual fund distributors in the country by gross commissions earned in the last 3 fiscals. Its flagship private wealth vertical manages 295 billion in assets as on August 31st, 2021. The company distributes mutual fund schemes and earns distribution commissions on it. It also purchases non-convertible market-linked debentures called MLDs and offers them to its clients as a hedge against erosion of their wealth and earns income from these sales. The AUM comprises mutual fund schemes and other financial products like bonds, MLDs, and other securities which are held by the clients in their demat accounts. PW vertical caters to 6,564 active client families, which are serviced by 233 RMs of the company. The company has presence in multiple locations, together in 11 cities in the country, like Mumbai, Bengaluru, Delhi, Gurugram, etc., and also has an office in Dubai, catering to NRI. The anchor investor portion of the issue received a good response and garnered rupees 194 crore from 12 anchor investors, mainly major mutual funds like ICICI Pru, Franklin Templeton, Canara, Ravco, Kotak, Invesco Fund, Nippon Mutual Fund, etc. A look at company's results for the last 3 years indicate that the revenues took a big hit due to COVID, and it could also have been affected at one point of time as the market went low on the onset of COVID. The revenues have recovered smartly thereafter, and in first 5 months there seems to be a good recovery in revenues. During this time, the company has still been able to maintain its EBITDA margins, though they went down to 30% in FY21, but they have recovered to about 45% in 5 months ended August 21. This type of margins may not sustain in future, though Anand Rathi Wealth is hopeful of maintaining 40% plus margins. If we consider FY21 results, the company is offering the shares at a PE of 50.76, which is quite higher compared to its peer IIFL Wealth, which is trading at about 31.5 PE at this juncture. However, if we analyze the first 5 months results, the PE demanded is reasonable at 18.67. However, this annualizing cannot be fully justified, as it's not sure whether the results churned out in first 5 months can be replicated further. The results are also affected to a great extent by market conditions, and in the last 5-6 months the market have been extremely buoyant. Even so, the overall valuations appears to be uh, reasonable. Anand Rathi Wealth intended to come with an IPO in September 2018, but later withdrew from it, citing bad market conditions. At that point of time, the company had also planned a fresh issue of shares, whereas now it is only going for an OFS. The reason given by promoters is they do not need any cash at this point of time or investment, which was needed at that point of time. The company targets HNI segments of clients with net worth between 5 to 50 crores, though it manages some clients with more than 50 crores also, but this is the preferred segment it targets. The company considers that this HNI segment is less price sensitive, will stay with it, want quality and personalized services which the company can provide. The company has organized its business in 3 subsidiaries. This is when the company moved from broking into wealth management. First is AR Digital Wealth, which is the mainstay of the company. It has a 75% shareholding in it, and it is engaged in business of distribution and sale of financial products. Second is Freedom Wealth Solutions, which is engaged in providing consultancy of wealth management services, wealth, financial, retirement, investment planning, property management, will writing, property valuations. This forms a considerable portion of the company's business. Third is Freedom Intermediary Infrastructure, which is a new one and is a tech platform for mutual fund distributors and provides a technology platform for independent financial advisors and mutual fund distributors. Some concerns on the issue. The IPO is entirely an offer of sale by the promoter. Their 75% stake will drop down to 49%, which is a considerable dip. This doesn't go well. Meanwhile, the wealth management industry is gripped with concerns like high competition and regulatory risks. There are frequent changes in regulatory requirements, sometimes by SEBI, sometimes by AMFI or government tax structures, which may affect the business and margins. There is increasing competition in wealth management space with more and more people going for direct mutual funds and many technology platforms coming into this space. So there is a competition from existing and also new market participants. Further, pandemic like COVID-19 could impact materially the company's prospects, and its overall performance is also linked to good performance of the stock market. Any slowdown in economy or performance of the stock market has a bearing on equities inflows and may affect the company seriously. While mainstay of the company is personal wealth management, it has also forayed into new verticals, looking at new areas backed by technology are gaining more traction. So it offers 2 new age technology-led business verticals. First is a digital wealth platform. It addresses individuals which are less than 5 crores, because these type of individuals may prefer a direct investment also, or a combination of physical and digital channels. The company relies on partners and distributors for this model and has been gaining good traction in this area, with it contributing 738 crores and about 3,500 clients. The second initiative of the company is Omni Financial Advisors, which provides a technology platform for independent financial advisors. It may be worth to mention here that SEBI has been laying stress on role of independent financial advisors who just advise the people and do not sell solutions, so that they can give unbiased investment advice to the clients. This started in 2016 and it has about 5,100 subscribers. Subscribers here refers to independent financial advisors. who in turn handle about 16.3 lakh clients on this platform. Prospects of wealth management in the country appear to be bright. There are many reasons for it. First is there is under-penetration of mutual fund segment. There are increasing wealth levels of younger population which are aided by industries like IT, and there's a growing number of millionaires in the country which is growing at a faster pace than in other countries. One can look at the table to see that India's growth of millionaires is 12.7% compared to world's growth rate of 8.42%. AUM serviced by the company has grown at a 20% CAGR between FY19 to FY21 and stood at rupees 30,200 crores on August 21. Number of clients have been growing at 20% during this period, and they stand at 6,500 total. Per year, company has been adding about 900 clients. Clients here refer to families who get associated with the companies. That is family accounts. Wealth management business is asset light with higher operating leverage. So as the company's volumes increase, same account managers can bring in more business, and this leads to operational leverage. This may be getting reflected in results for the month ended, for the period ended August 2021, whereby the operating margins have taken a big jump. Company clocked profit after tax of 51 crores for these 5 months on revenue of 167 crores, which translates into a 45% operating margin and a 31% net margin. Anand Rathi Wealth follows a process-driven approach to provide wealth solutions and aims to achieve consistent client outcomes through standardized investment strategy. An advantage of this is that even if some RMs leave, though the rate has been lower at Anand Rathi, and though because they have some good incentives for them, the RM may not be able to take many clients with him who get comfortable with a particular process and a strategy, and thus may prefer to stay with the company. The company's model portfolio includes an optimal combination of mutual funds and structured products, which provide some hedging and making it relatively more simpler and comfortable for the clients to understand. The company has exhibited good stickiness with its clients. 55% of the clients are more than 3 years, and they represent about 74% of their personal wealth AUM. This means the clients are more or less satisfied with the services of the company. At the higher price end of rupees 550, issue is valued at a PE of 51x, which appears quite costly. However, if company can sustain its 5-month momentum and earnings are annualized, the PE demanded is less than 20, which is rather comfortable. GMP last reported was about 100. Peers include IIFL Wealth Management, which trades at about 31x its earning on a TTM basis. IIFL Wealth is also into mutual funds, and that business is included in this. Other companies are Edelweiss, Motilal Oswal, who are into wealth management, Angel One, and host of banks like Axis, Kotak, PSU banks. Overall, Anand Rathi is in the middle if we compare it with peers. I may apply for this IPO on the last day, subject to good QIB response, knowing quite well that it's only suitable for risk-taking investors. Despite the high price being demanded, a big rush of IPOs, which can lead to lower listings in coming days, I am inclined to keep this IPO under my radar due to favorable sector tailwinds for wealth management. a good CAGR track record, and future possibilities in this sector. If there is any other important information, I'll put it on my website. Thanks a lot for bearing with me. Please read this disclaimer carefully.